you recommend it? Do you think people should see
See,
it in the theater?
that's the I don't think theater, because then you're stuck with like these ladies catcalling, talking about wardrobe and stuff, and like not finding that last. I'm assuming it was a Sour Patch Kid in her bag, like in her package, because she was crunching pretty hard trying to find that last one, right? So how do you tell someone to leave your house politely? Because we're talking movies, we're talking Presents, starring Lucy Liu and Chris Sullivan, directed by Steven Soderbergh. There's an excellent man inside of you, Chris. I would love to see him soon.
Have you ever noticed how your advice always corresponds with us doing exactly nothing at all? Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of How'd You Like That Movie? And we're going to be talking about presents, and I'm in the presence of greatness, as usual, with my co-host, Scott. So, Scott, take it away.
Ah, we could just end it right there.
Yeah, you're like, and that's a wrap.
I'm like, fuck you, never say anything nice about me. Oh my god, fuck.
I just was trying to find something creative to say, so don't take it to heart.
You're like, I just had to try to be funny or clever,
or punny, dad jokey.
Okay, so in terms of this movie, so if you don't know what the basis of this movie is, it's pretty much a family.
Well, if you don't know what the basis is, either do I, because after watching
wait, shh. A family moves into a home, slowly comes to realize they're not alone, and I'm pretty torn about this movie. And first, I want to make a little apology because I didn't have much time to write my notes and really think about this because I literally just left the theater an hour ago. So this is all like everything I'm gonna say is all just first impression of this film since I didn't really have time to digest it. But I do want to thank.
This is like right out of the oven, fresh.
Yeah. I want to thank the lovely ladies who sat 3 chairs to my right. I really did appreciate your continually running commentary.
Wait, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Of the actors' wardrobes and what you liked and didn't like what they were wearing.
You're just coming off stupid.
What did they like? Actually, Scott, why don't you tell us what wardrobe they did like?
Oh, they were very, very enamored with the wardrobe the real estate agent was wearing.
Played by the lovely Julie Fox.
Yeah, they were, and they're like, I really like that. And then I also want to thank them, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the audience that were also watching it loved them providing us closed captioning by repeating every word that was said in the movie.
Excuse me? I think I paid my money like everybody else up in here.
It made this very, very worthwhile.
Cool. Okay, so what do you think of the movie?
I think great concept, but the execution didn't deliver it.
Oh, he's using some Chris takes on this action.
Yeah, I like David Cope, I believe is
the writer.
Yeah, is how you pronounce this. And he's a very adequate screenwriter. Like, yeah, when he hits, and his movies are good. But when
motherfucker wrote Carlito's Way, man. Like,
yeah. Well, you're forgetting the fucking masterpiece that was Dark Angel, or as we in Canada know it, I Come in Peace, with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, nice. He is also a co-writer on Jurassic Park,
and Toy Soldiers.
Yeah, that's also a sick movie. Anyway, yeah, so totally competent screenwriter.
Right. But yeah, that's
but he also worked on Dial of Destiny. So let's just keep that in the back of my mind.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like he hits, and then all of a sudden it's just like, fuck, right? Like, I can just do anything. Because again, he did go from Panic Room to, you know, the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Then you know, he did Zathura.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. But yeah, like I think
What about the
like
concept did you like? So just so everybody knows, what you're gonna see is a like roughly 80 to 90-minute film shot from the POV of a ghost. Yeah, that's the big device that they're using. Is like there's you never see the perspective of any other character. You're always seeing it from the ghost. And it's being shot on a steady cam. So where you're just kind of moving
yeah.
through the house over
So
time.
but that's the thing. Like I appreciate it. Like I liked it because it's also kind of talking like if it wasn't a ghost, right? Like if this wasn't something supernatural, right? Like it's literally you could have had this like 2000 like 2020 version of literally the fucking Truman Show where we're the audience and we're literally being thrown in to these people's lives, right? And it's all like just taking little bits of it, but going the supernatural is fine. And like I was saying, like I think they had the concept and probably they're like 40 pages into this movie and realized there's no real way to fucking end this, right? Because it just seems like it just goes and goes, and then all of a sudden the third act hits and you're like, this isn't the movie I started with, and it's nowhere even fucking close to the movie that's like presented. It's just like they didn't know how to like bring it home,
So
right?
do you listen? So this movie clearly is marketed as like a horror thriller. That's what I thought I was sitting down to watch. Do you feel like you were sold kind of like a fake bill of goods? Because it was much more of a drama. Not that dramas are
uh
bad. I will talk about what I didn't like about the, but like it is very much not like if you're listening to this podcast thinking you're going to go watch a horror movie, right off the bat, do not do that because that is going to piss you off right from the beginning. Would you not agree with that, Scott?
yes, I don't know who it was, but I'm sure you can find the reviewer. But I remember after this coming out of TIFF and all the, like Instagram kind of reviews were coming from it, people were saying this is such a scary movie. This is such a scary movie. And I'm like,
What? Are you sure they're talking about this movie?
I could have sworn it was this movie. And even on the poster, it's like this will leave you like I think it says it leaves you in chills, or this is gonna chill you to the bone or something.
Yeah, only because it's February in Canada.
Right, possibly. But yeah, like I didn't find anything scary. Um and I think that's what I'm saying. Like you had an opportunity to do something different and something that really in terms of like ghost stories you haven't really done, I would say, since when was the others with Nicole Kidman, like early 2000s,
Yeah, something like that.
right? So it's 25 years, you would say, that this kind of concept hasn't been done, but it seems like they tried to like redo fucking Paranormal Activity without actually having any paranormal
Well,
activity.
actually, yeah. And so while I was watching this, that's exactly the vibe I got. I feel like I'm watching Paranormal Activity. But again, like you just said it, like, but there's no scary component. It's just it's as if it's Paranormal Activity all the times when the ghost isn't really there. It's just a room.
Yeah.
So, and again, okay, so they're shooting POV of this ghost, which means also all the shots are like wide shots for the most part. Like you never get really tight. You get like the camera does move in, but a lot of it is just sort of like the whole room, everybody in the room. And they're all long takes. So they're all single takes. And they bookend them with these like really hard black edits to show that like much time may have elapsed or whatever. And I found that as a device got really annoying really fucking fast. To be honest, like I was angry watching this movie. I just wanted it to be over. Uh, there was so many you guys, anybody's been listening to the show knows that I like to refer to like Chekhov's gun, which is like when you introduce something and then you don't use it. There was so many Chekhov guns lying around. I thought John Wick was going to show up. Like the whole thing about like the illegal activity that the wife is doing like never really gets a resolution. It's simply supposed to be there to cause like conflict with her husband, but like it was like way too involved to not get resolved. Like and then she's like, what was her relationship with her son? Like, it was almost like I was joking, like, about like, what is she gonna give him a fucking hand job now? Like,
whoa, 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 whoa.
what? Like, she had this like really creepy relationship. Actors are often all the time, yet again, as I said on our Wolfman episode, acting like they're not in the same scene with all the actors. Like that dinner scene where the dad's like yelling and screaming, but it feels like he's almost like yelling and screaming, like, but not to the table. And the son is doing his dialogue, but it doesn't seem like it's to anybody. And Lucy Liu's doing dialogue, and it's like everybody, it's like they're doing a fucking audition.
You are mistaken, my friend.
Oh, am I?
Yes. Lucy Liu, she did not have any dialogue. She just stared at her phone.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm getting.
It was the daughter.
Yeah, but I'm also like right after that is the scene I think that's on the couch, and where Lucy Liu is like in like deep thought and like staring into the eyes of her son. It was just fucking weird.
Oh, and she's like, I've never had a connection like I have, like, you know, I knew from the
compares to you.
Yeah, and he's like, you know, you have another daughter, but or a child, and they're like, well, that's different.
So I mean, I think that this was there's a very small, short, interesting story here. I think this would have been a cool 30-minute film. Either that or you need like a totally constructed B story that exists outside of that household. There's just not enough going on. At points too, it feels very much like a stage play. Like it's a bit melodramatic. And I was wondering if this had been adapted from a stage play and that's just not executed correctly. But it's not like it's a totally original piece of work. Again, one of my like witty little repartees here is, oh, great. I finally got to see Steven Soderbergh's 4th year film school thesis get made. Because that's what this felt like. This felt like something that you would pitch in film school and you think is super edgy because you're like, actually, this time it's the POV of the ghost. Boom, steady cam, go. Like, it did not need to be a 90-minute movie. Like, it's fucking boring. Also, like, I want you to answer something like about this. Okay. So the ghost is, and you learn this very quickly into the film, so I'm not spoiling anything. The ghost could possibly be of one of the dead girls, right? But why does it show them moving into the house then? Like, did the ghost come with them? If the ghost came with them, why is the ghost already in the house? Because the film opens with an empty house, then and through the POV of a ghost, but the ghost is supposed to be possibly the friend of the girl that's moving in.
Listen,
and also, why did you need to get Julie Fox to be the real estate agent? Like, what? I didn't understand some of these choices.
Okay, let's do we want to spoil this? Because that's the thing. Like,
hold on, before we spoil, I'll tell you right now, don't bother watching this in the movie theater. Don't waste your money at all. Wait till it comes out on streaming. The only people that actually really need to watch this movie is if you're a filmmaker. There's some interesting ways that they deal with like Steadicam use or single location from dialogue and stuff. Definitely an example of like how to write really shitty dialogue. So now I think we can spoil it because I've already told people that they don't need to watch it.
Okay, so spoilers in 1, 2, 3. When does paranormal become Back to the Future?
What does that mean?
Like,
are you asking me a question here?
Yeah. So that's what, like, again, I think they totally didn't know how to do it. So a person who died went back in time to rewrite the wrong that happened.
The fuck are you even talking about right now? You're gonna have to explain yourself. You're not making any sense.
The ghost is the fucking brother.
No, the ghost is the
ghost is the brother.
No, the ghost is no. That's another ghost.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
At the very end, the ghost is
they literally said, because they have that quick scene saying when the psychic girl comes back to the house, but he didn't let her in the house, and the ghost is watching from the outside. She goes, I think the ghost is here because it's something that hasn't happened. It's trying to stop something that happened, and it has to do with the window. Oh, the ghost is the fucking son.
You know what? You might be right because of that.
Well, we're going. We don't need roads.
But yeah, I think you're just pointing out. Actually, even this film is actually written even worse than I thought.
because so the ghost is the son, and that's why it got pissed off at the.
But wait, that means the ghost wakes up the son, wakes himself up in the present.
Yes,
then
to save his sister that apparently most likely
bad writing. If that's true, that bad writing.
Yeah. So apparently he saved it because the window wasn't supposed to open, but now because it happened, the dad, I believe, fixed the window, so that's why it. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it became Back to the Future, but with a ghost, and that's why I'm like, okay, this doesn't work for me. If it was one of the other victims, makes sense, right?
But again, none of those. That I guess that explains why the. But why is it still doesn't explain like why the ghost? I guess it is. It's in the future, so the ghost is in the. You know what? This film is bad. You just fucking with the whole timeline now too.
Yeah, because the beginning happens. The beginning happens with him technically once they bought the house.
Yeah,
because that's when he technically manifested there.
Okay, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And the ending scene is him finally leaving the house because he did the work that he was going to do.
Because he saved his sister. So you're suggesting that in one reality, in one of his realities, he died?
Well, he always dies, but I think the sister was going to die.
Oh, like he gets there like too late or something like that.
Yes, and he was always going to die.
Oh, okay.
So
he's
that's
just
why
dying again, but at least he gets to save his sister.
Right, because if you remember, once the psychic touched that window, she starts screaming, "Save her! Save her!" Right, and then they're like, "Okay," and then it goes to the other scene where they get extorted by the husband.
Yeah,
but,
well, good. Listen, good picking up on that. If people who do watch it, let us know if you think that he's right or wrong. Seems plausible at this point because he just came out of the theater.
Buddy, I'm not. Look. Ask our producer.
Oh, per Wikipedia, brother. Yep. The producer also agrees with you. Okay, so there you go. Even a more train wreck of a fucking script than I thought. The one thing I did like as far as like the tension they built, like the serial killer aspect that it does exist in there, that's good. And I think maybe if they had not tried to keep it so contained, they could have like did a bit of a police procedural. Like I said, I think there might be some kernels in there. Interesting thing I found out about Soderbergh when I was researching for the show. Do you know that he like is the DOP and editor of a lot of his own movies? He just uses like synonyms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter Andrews and Mary Ann Bernard or whatever.
Yeah. So he edited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
interesting. And he produces.
Way to get double takes, and then maybe he can get more work.
So they shot this film cost $2 million. They shot it over 11 days, which is great. But they've already made their money, like as far as like the production company that produced it, because they shot it for 2 million and they sold it to Neon for 5. So that's an easy like fucking doubling your money, right? So
yeah, it's like first, that's what I'm saying. Like the concept was there. I just think the execution of it didn't work, right? And it kind of made it.
But I don't know
flat.
if there's. I think there's some like the fact that you just laid out all that script stuff. That's a perfect example of like that's fucked. Like that is a way too complicated script for like what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like
so I don't even know if that's execution. That's even just like bad script.
Yeah, because I think like I was saying, like once it became, Back to the Future Ghost, right? Like why didn't Patrick Swayze get to go back and stop his murder?
Because he couldn't go back in time.
Right? Like, why couldn't he do that? Right? And then he could have had Unchained Melody with Demi Moore in real life. But yeah, that was the thing. Once I realized that, that's what made me torn about it. Like maybe after like a day or two and I sit down and I think about it a little bit more, like it might change my mind. That's why I'm kind of torn on this. But just first impression, I think it was lazy writing that I think they just didn't know how to get themselves out of it, because they probably started throwing that serial killer stuff in there and the concept of how he does it and what's left is crazy, because because at no point anybody thinks there is one, right, until technically he reveals himself.
There was a little bit too much dialogue between him and his almost victim there, where I was like, all right, man, like you're very much showing that this is scripted. But yeah, great. It was a very cool concept and an interesting way to play out that serial killer. And again, I think that would be, I want to see that story get played out. So you can have your family drama, and then that's kind of this like B story in the background, and then the B and the A story kind of come together. But you gotta get outside of the house. Like, I don't think there's enough. You can't keep that going on inside the house like that. You know what I mean?
Well, that they're saying, the reason they kept it there, like in terms of execution and practicality, is because, well, one, budget, but two, the ghost is there, right? And everything's from the ghost's POV.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe don't make everything from like ghost POV is good. Maybe don't make an entire film with the ghost POV. Because even the Nickel Boys, which I said they do a very interesting thing with character perspective. There's two main characters, and the perspective, the changes between those new characters. But even in that film, by the way, if you haven't seen Nickel Boys, find a place to watch it. It's fantastic. One of the best films of last year, up for a bunch of independent Spirit Awards. They also do some bird's eye shots. Like, they're not locked in. They're like, we're going to do some stuff, but when we need to do other things and move the camera around, we're going to. Like, service a story, not service a filmmaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't have much to say.
Do you recommend it? Do you think people should
see that's the I don't think theater, because then you're stuck with like these ladies catcalling, talking about wardrobe and stuff, and like not finding that last, I'm assuming it was a Sour Patch Kid in her bag, like in her package, because she was crunching pretty hard trying to find that last one, right? She was probably like, I know I stuck
to the bottom of the bag, man. You know how it is.
But that's the thing.
That's like, how I'm with the Junior Mint, where I'm like rattling it around in the box, like.
Yeah, here's my final 2 cents on this movie. I think audience members need to have the presence of mind to realize everybody else paid for that fucking thing too, right? So don't be your Sally Squawker. Don't be that. Like, COVID's over. You're not watching this in your living room. Stay the fuck quiet. Watch the movie. Clap if you like. Scream if you're scared. Laugh if it's funny. But no one needs your commentary, unless you're one of the co-hosts of the How You Like That Movie, because then everybody needs my commentary.
See, normally I'd let Scott wrap it up, but I've got a good quote. So, Johnny Olinsky of the New York Post. It's a mid-season episode of TV. We don't get to know much about the characters and don't care either way about their fate.
And that is our wrap for the day. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. If you want to get a hold of us, reach us at the www.howdyoulikethatmovie.com. Since it was a brother, do you think it's kind of weird that he got to sit in the closet and watch his sister lose her virginity?
Well, we don't know if she lost it. Do we know she lost her virginity?
I think so. Because the whole time the bunny was like, this is your choice if you want to do it or not.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's quite possible. Also, like, another one to check out the Chekhov's gun, the whole, like, your brother's got a mean streak in him. What the fuck did that have to do with anything? Like, none of these little threads get resolved. They're just there. They're just like a frayed fucking t-shirt waiting to be pulled on. Production by Rod Shaver, Vader Monkey Productions.